Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parirajakcharya Ashtadada Sattva Shri Srima His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shira Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shira Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parirajakcharya Ashtadada Sattva Shri Srima His Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadhatra Shri Vasade Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinang Shama Kum Radha Kum Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jatnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Chamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Trusi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasada Distribution Ki Jai. Hare Rama Sankirtan Ki Jai. ISKCON Yutvagadam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Haribo Haribo. All glories to the Sambodhi Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sambodhi Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sambodhi Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nanayana Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswatim Vyasam Tattvajayam Uditrayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 5th chapter, text number 23. Mahatas tu Bhikhuvanat Rajaha Sattva Pabrihitat Tamaha Pradanas tu Abhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka Mahatastu Bhikhuvanat Rajasattva Pabrihitat Tama Pradanastva Bhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka Mahatastu Bhikhuvanat Rajasattva Prabrihitat Tama Pradanastva Bhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka Mahatastu Bhikhuvanat Rajasattva Prabrihitat Tama Pradanastva Bhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka Mahatastu Bhikhuvanat Maharaji's. Ajastu Vipuvana Ajahatu Pavivita Mahataha of the Mahatattva to but Vikuvanat being transformed. Rajaha, the material modes of passion. Sattva, the mode of goodness. Upabrimhitat, because of being increased. Tamaha, the mode of darkness. Pradanaha, being prominent. To but. Abhavat, took place. Dravya, matter. Jnana, material knowledge. Kriya atmakaha, predominantly material activities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Material activities are caused by the Mahatattvas being agitated. At first, there is transformation of the modes of goodness and passion. And later, due to the mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. Purport. Material creation of every description are more or less due to the development of the mode of passion, rajas. The Mahatattva is the principle of material creation, and when it is agitated by the will of the Supreme, at the first, the modes of passion and goodness are prominent. And afterwards, the mode of passion being generated in due course by material activities of different varieties becomes prominent. And the living entities are thus involved more and more in ignorance. Brahma is the representation of the mode of passion, and Vishnu is the representation of the mode of goodness, while the mode of ignorance is represented by Lord Shiva, the father of material activities. Material nature is called the mother, and the initiator for materialistic life is the father, Lord Shiva. All material creation by the living entities is therefore initiated by the mode of passion. With the advancement of the duration of life in a particular millennium, the different modes act by gradual development. In the such age of Kali, when the mode of passion is most prominent, material activities of different varieties in the name of advancement of human civilization take place. And the living entities become more and more involved in forgetting their real identity, the spiritual nature. By a slight cultivation of the mode of goodness, a glimpse of spiritual nature is perceived. But due to the prominence of the mode of passion, the mode of goodness becomes adulterated. Therefore, one cannot transcend the limits of the material modes, and therefore realization of the Lord, who is always transcendental to the modes of material nature, becomes very difficult for the living entities. Even though prominently situated in the mode of goodness through cultivation of the various methods. In other words, the gross matters are adibhutam. The maintenance is adidaivam. and the initiator of material activities is called Adhyatmam. In the material world, these three principles act as prominent features, namely as though material, its regular supplies, and its use in different varieties of material creation for sense enjoyment by the bewildered entities. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shrakaya Chakshu Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swam Padandikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutva Padmanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Nakunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinna Bandhu Chagapate Gopesha Kopika Kanda Namaste Tapta Kanchanat Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Ishmani Rishabhanus De Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakau Patarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishvanebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasade Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mahatastu Vikuvanat Raja Sattva Prabrihitam Tama Pradanastu Abhavat Dravya Jnana Kriyatmaka. Material activities are caused by the Mahatatvas being agitated. At the first, there is transformation of the modes of goodness and passion. And later, due to the modes of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is talking about that realization of the Supreme Personality of God, Sri Krishna, is not an easy thing. Srila Prabhupada, he said in the purport that due to the prominence of the modes of passion, the mode of goodness becomes adulterated. And therefore, one cannot transcend the limits of the material modes. And therefore, realization of Lord Sri Krishna becomes very difficult for the living entities. So it reminds me of several verses in the Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna is describing in this regard. Let's take a look. In the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in verse number 3, Lord Krishna, he said, Manushanam sahasreshu kasti yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kastimam veti tatvataha. Krishna says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Srila Prabhupada, he wrote a very beautiful purport to this verse. Prabhupada, he said, there are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in the animal propensity, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. And hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and the jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripad Shankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna. Even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. And then Prabhupada, he continues said in the purport that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord, Govinda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachi Ananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sava Kanana Kananam. It is very difficult for the non-devotee to know him, although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy. They cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy, as the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized person without knowledge of bhakti may be easy, but it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations. The speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharacha Vidim Vina Aikantiki Hare Bhaktir Upatayava Kaupate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharacha is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. And then Prabhupada continues saying that it is not possible for Brahman realized impersonalists or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda, or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Mantu Veda na kaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, then Samahatma Sudurava. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is, Tatpataha, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotee can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotee alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Atashri Krishna Namadi Nabhava Grahyam Indriyai Seva Mukhe Hijiva Do Swayam Eva Sputyada. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the brown material senses. But he reveals himself to the devotee, being pleased with them for the transcendental loving service unto him. So from here we could understand that it is only because the cause is mercy of the Lord that we can know Lord Krishna something. It reminds me so therefore it is said that we shouldn't try to see Krishna, but we should try to work in such a way that Krishna will come and see us. So it reminds me the story of Dhruva Maharaj. So we all know that Dhruva Maharaj is actually the son of a great king. So when he was only 5 years old, so he was trying to climb up, on the lap of the father, because he saw his other brother, was sitting on the lap of his father. So he also wanted to, but one of his stepmother, didn't allow him, and said, if you want to sit on the lap of your father, you have to take birth from my womb. So he was saying like that. And although Dhruva Maharaj was only 5 years old born, he became really, angry, like a serpent, disturbed by someone, became very furious. So immediately he left the palace and went to his own mother, Suniti. Yeah. I remember his mother's name is Suniti, right? And then upon seeing, the suffering of Dhruva Maharaj, his mother told him, my dear boy, the only person in this world who can help you is the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. And then Dhruva Maharaj asked his mother, where can I find Krishna? I want to find, Krishna so that I can get help from him. And then Suniti, told him that Lord Krishna usually is in the forest with great sages. You can go there and look for him. So then Dhruva Maharaj immediately, left his home and went to the forest. Of course, we all know that on the way he met Narada Muni. Yeah. Narada Muni wanted to test his sincerity and telling him, you are just a small boy. You should just go back home and come back, after some time when you're grown up like that, But Dhruva Maharaj was very determined to look for Lord Krishna. He said, if you really want to help me, then you, kindly give me some instructions. Where can I, find him? Otherwise, you should not, block my way. So Dhruva Maharaj was very determined. So upon seeing, the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, then Narada Muni, taught him, the practice of devotional service. So Dhruva Maharaj, he came to Vrindavan, and at Madhuvan forest, he is practicing great austerities. Yeah, at the same time, he is chanting a mantra taught by Narada Muni. The mantra is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So he was chanting this mantra every day. And he practiced very severe austerities. Yeah. in the first month, he in the first month, every 3 days, he would eat the roots of the, different roots in the forest. And then in the second month, he would eat only fruits and dried leaves every 6 days. And in the third month, he would only drink water one time every 9 days. Yeah. And in the fourth month, he would only breathe one time every 12 days. And in the fifth month, he completely stopped eating, sleeping, drinking, like that. And then, the whole universe, becomes suffocated because of that. And then, the demigods, they have to approach Lord Brahma and ask, Lord Brahma to help. And then Lord Brahma, he went to Svetadvip to see, of course, not to see Lord Krishna. Actually, Lord Brahma came to the shore of the Milk Ocean and started to meditate on Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu, came and told him that, oh, don't worry, this is my devotee, my devotee, Dhruva Maharaj is practicing austerity. I will go and, solve this problem, don't worry. So, and then Lord Vishnu personally come and see Dhruva Maharaj, because of his Dhruva Maharaj devotion, that Lord Vishnu personally come and see him. There's another wonderful point in Prabhupada's purport, where Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that in the age of Kali, material activities of different varieties take place in the name of advancement of human civilization. And all the living entities become more and more involved in forgetting the real identity, the spiritual nature. So I'll just stop here. Are there any questions and comments? Okay. Thank you very much. Gantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Haribo, haribo. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama.